The events take place in Seattle. Claire Bartell is a housewife. She is happy in her marriage with her husband Michael. The couple has a little daughter, Emma, and they are preparing for the birth of their second child. When Claire is cooking breakfast in the kitchen, she sees some man through the window, and frightened drops a pitcher of juice. Seeing how the man keeps fussing about in their yard, Michael goes out to check what is going on. It turns out that this man, whose name is Solomon, was sent by a volunteer organization that helps find work for mentally challenged people. Solomon is here to build a fence for the Bartells. The family warmly welcomes Solomon, who seems kind and harmless. He dreams of buying a new bicycle, and this job could help him a lot. The couple shows Solomon the property. They want to build a tall fence for the safety of their children. Despite his mental disability, Solomon is clearly good at this work. Later, Claire goes to a women's clinic for an appointment. Her previous obstetrician has retired, so her new doctor will be Victor Mott. Nurse Maria mentions that Victor and his wife are also expecting a child. When Maria at the doctor's request leaves to deliver test results to another patient, he begins the examination, but Claire quickly senses something is wrong. Victor Mott starts performing indecent actions that clearly go beyond his professional duty. After this, without even booking a next appointment, Claire hurries to leave the hospital. Because of the stress, she suffers a recurrence of asthma. At home, the first thing the woman does is take a shower to wash away the feeling of filth. When Michael comes back from work, she throws herself into his arms in tears, and then calming down a little, tells him what happened. Michael insists that they must report Victor Mott to the state medical board. But Claire is not sure she is ready. What if she misunderstood something? However, Michael convinces her that if they do not go through with it, Dr. Mott will be able to do the same to someone else. In the end, Claire agrees. Soon the scandalous case of Victor Mott is being talked about in all the news. Moreover, Claire turns out not to have been the only victim. 4 other women also brought similar accusations against Mott. To avoid criminal charges, Victor decides to pass away voluntarily. Michael finds out about it when he sees an article in the newspaper, and he rushes to show it to his wife. Victor's pregnant widow is left with nothing. All of her late husband's assets are frozen because of lawsuits, and his life insurance policy has been annulled. Mrs. Mott has the right to stay in the house until the child is born, but afterward it will also be put up for sale because of debts. Because of the stress, the woman goes into premature labor, and she is rushed into the operating room, while Claire and Michael are eagerly preparing to become parents for the second time. Alas, despite the doctor's efforts, the baby cannot be saved. Moreover, Mrs. Mott will never again be able to have children. She is so depressed that she even refuses to eat. On television, she sees Claire Bartell, the first to bring charges against Victor. 6 months later, Claire and Michael are happy parents of a baby boy, Joe. Solomon has become almost like a member of their family. They have grown very attached to him, especially Emma. Claire shares with her husband her plans to build a greenhouse in the yard. Michael thinks she is taking on too much. Perhaps they should consider hiring a nanny. Claire doubts that she is ready to entrust her son to a stranger, but Michael reassures her that there is nothing wrong with it. Later, after walking Emma to the school bus, Claire runs into a woman on the street who introduces herself as Peyton Flanders. She has responded to the ad about looking for a nanny and is searching for the Bartells' house. Claire invites Peyton inside, unaware that standing before her is Mrs. Mott under a false name. Peyton lies, saying that she used to work for another family who recently moved away, and now she is looking for a new job. During the interview, Claire asks Peyton why she decided to become a nanny. The woman replies that some time ago she lost her husband and her child within a few days of each other. She will never know the joy of motherhood, but she wants the chance to care for someone else's children. Hearing this, Claire is stunned. When she is distracted by Solomon asking her something, Peyton steps up to Joe's crib. This is her unfulfilled dream. Then Claire introduces Solomon to Peyton. She plays her part well, pretending to be sweet and modest. Claire invites Peyton to have dinner with them that evening. Of course, she agrees without hesitation and looks after the baby while Claire prepares the meal. When asked what her husband does, Claire replies that he is a genetic engineer. When Michael returns from work, Peyton can hardly contain her emotions, watching the couple embrace. At dinner, Peyton notices that Claire's earring has fallen out, but she says nothing. While Michael and Claire are in the kitchen discussing how long they should hire Peyton, she pretends that Joe almost swallowed the earring. This only convinces the couple that Peyton will be the perfect nanny. The next day, Peyton arrives with a suitcase. She will be working as a live-in. Solomon immediately feels distrust toward this woman. Claire shows Peyton the house and the downstairs room where she will be living. At night, when everyone in the household is asleep, Peyton slips into the nursery and begins breastfeeding the baby, imagining that he is her own son, the one she lost. The next day, Emma helps Solomon set up a birdhouse in the yard. The little girl has become very attached to Solomon, considering him her kind friend. That evening, the Bartells plan to have dinner at a restaurant with their friends. Claire is going to wear her favorite red dress, a gift from Michael. Peyton quietly leaves a stain on the dress. Michael introduces the nanny to his friend Marty Craven. Admiring the woman's beauty, Marty jokes that maybe he and his wife Marlene should have children too. Paying no attention to this, Peyton helps Claire choose another dress. Nevertheless, she is a little disappointed that she will not be in her red one. The two couples go out to the restaurant. Peyton lets Emma watch a horror film, despite Claire's ban. The nanny tells her that it will be their little secret. Emma mentions that her father grew up with Aunt Marlene, and that when they were children, they used to play bride and groom. The girl also complains that one boy at school is bullying her. At the restaurant, Marlene, who works as a real estate agent, tells Claire that she should not have let an attractive woman into the house. However, Claire does not take this seriously, fully trusting her husband. Still, Marlene advises her to stay alert. The next day, while walking with the stroller in the park, Peyton encounters another mother. The woman thinks that Joe is Peyton's son and asks if she has any other children. Peyton replies that she also has a daughter, Emma. Later on the playground, the woman asks Emma to point out the boy who has been bullying her. And the girl does. Peyton begins to threaten the boy, saying that if he ever hurts Emma again, it will end badly for him. This makes the girl feel an even greater affection for the nanny. Claire is worried that her son is refusing milk. Peyton assures her that she has not noticed any changes. The family fully trusts the nanny, who not only helps with the children, but is also attentive to Claire and Michael themselves. She has become indispensable to them. Claire takes Peyton to the botanical garden, sharing her plans to build her own greenhouse. Since childhood, Claire has been passionate about plants. Her parents even used to joke that she should have been born on a farm. When asked if she has any relatives in Seattle, Peyton replies that her husband had been the only close person in her life. The one who took his life away was never caught, but Peyton firmly believes that evil done always returns as even greater evil. Claire does not know that earlier Peyton stole a letter with Michael's resume. She tears it up in the restroom of the botanical garden, and then begins venting her emotions. Her hatred toward Claire knows no bounds, and she is ready to do anything to destroy her life. The next day, not finding in her bag Michael's resume, which she had promised to take to his office, Claire realizes that she has let her husband down. Watching this from the car, Peyton gloats inwardly. Claire becomes so nervous that it provokes an asthma attack. Peyton pretends to be concerned. In fact, she is planning to use Claire's illness against her in the future. Michael is upset by how things have turned out, though he tries not to show it to his wife. She feels so sorry and keeps apologizing again and again. The next day, Claire shares with Michael her worries about Joe refusing milk, though he is not losing any weight. Michael thinks there is no reason for concern. That same day, Peyton comes to Michael's workplace and suggests arranging a surprise for Claire, whose birthday is coming soon. He thinks it is a great idea. Peyton says it would be wonderful if Marlene could help with the preparations. Later, Solomon sees Peyton breastfeeding the baby. She notices him too. He knows that he must tell Claire about it. Peyton threatens Solomon, advising him not to stand in her way and saying that her version will sound more believable than his. But the man cannot allow this woman to harm his friends. The Bartells surprise Solomon with a new bicycle, the one he had dreamed of so much. It moves him to tears. Joyful, he plays with Emma in the yard. Watching this, Claire tells Peyton that her daughter adores Solomon. Peyton in turn mentions that she has seen how he might allow himself something inappropriate toward Emma. Claire does not believe that this harmless man could be capable of such a thing. Nevertheless, doubts begin to creep in. In the evening, as she puts her daughter to bed, Claire says that they should not have secrets. The girl looks thoughtful when she hears about a secret. The next day, the situation escalates when Claire finds some of Emma's things in Solomon's garden cart. In tears and fury, the woman lashes out at the man, who immediately understands that this is Peyton's doing. The Bartells are forced to dismiss Solomon. He says nothing, knowing that because of his condition no one will believe him. Seeing from the window how Solomon leaves, Emma feels sad. Peyton comforts the girl. Unable to bear it, Claire begins to cry. At night, Emma complains to Peyton about her mother. The nanny deliberately turns the girl against Claire, saying that she drove Solomon away on purpose because she did not like him. Emma in turn says that she would rather have a mother like Peyton. Claire feels like a bad mother, because her daughter has changed. The girl has become angry and mistrustful. Perhaps Emma judges her as a mother for not protecting her. Peyton encourages Claire, telling her that everything will be fine. Michael is not sure that given recent events, a birthday party for Claire would be appropriate, but Peyton convinces him that right now it will be good for all of them to take their minds off things. Marlene arrives. While the women are busy with Joe, who will not stop crying, Peyton steals Marlene's lighter. Only in Peyton's arms does Joe stop crying. Marlene refuses to stay for dinner, because she is showing the Fletcher's house to potential buyers today. While preparing dinner, the women talk heart to heart. Peyton voices her suspicions that Marlene was Michael's first love, pretending she did not know it beforehand. It is unpleasant for Claire to hear, especially since her husband is staying late at work today. He meanwhile is meeting Marlene in a restaurant to discuss the guest list for Claire's birthday party. Although he still does not like the idea of a surprise. When Michael returns, Claire smells tobacco on him. She knows that he only smokes in Marlene's presence. Michael does not wish to continue this topic and goes to bed. In the middle of the night he is awakened by some noises. Entering the kitchen, he sees Peyton gathering ice that is spilled across the floor. Peyton, embarrassed, says that she just dropped something from the refrigerator, and offers to cook something for Michael. But he politely refuses. On Claire's birthday, the family, accompanied by the nanny, goes for a walk in the park. The couple warns their daughter, saying that if Solomon appears nearby, she must not approach him. The girl sincerely does not understand what bad thing Solomon has done. Claire also drops off clothing at the dry cleaners. The worker finds Marlene's lighter in Michael's jacket. Now Claire has no doubt about her husband's infidelity. At home she starts a quarrel with him. Michael says that she has misunderstood everything. He and Marlene were only planning the surprise party. All the guests are already waiting in the living room, but the celebration is hopelessly spoiled, because Claire's mood is anything but festive. She is deeply ashamed, she cannot even look Marlene in the eye. The couple decides to go on vacation, but Claire insists that they travel only as a family, without Peyton. Since the nanny came into their home, too many bad things have happened. The couple does not suspect that Peyton is eavesdropping on their conversation through the baby monitor. Michael agrees with his wife that this trip will be only for them and their children. At night, while everyone is asleep, Peyton leaves a deadly trap for Claire in the greenhouse. Meanwhile, Marlene, who is handling the sale of Dr. Victor Mott's house, suspects that something is wrong. Leaving the children with the nanny, Claire goes to the botanical garden for seeds. Peyton is disappointed that Claire will not go into the greenhouse right away. Searching through the city archive, Marlene finds a newspaper article with a photograph from Dr. Victor Mott's funeral. His widow is also in the picture. Realizing that Peyton is in fact Mrs. Mott, Marlene immediately heads to the Bartell's house, while the unsuspecting Claire is collecting seeds in the botanical garden. When Marlene appears on the Bartell's doorstep, she firmly tells Mrs. Mott that there is no need for her to pretend any longer. Mrs. Mott lies, saying that Claire is in the greenhouse. When Marlene goes inside, the glass ceiling collapses on her. Wasting no time, Mrs. Mott tampers with Claire's inhalers, since another victim has already fallen into the trap in the greenhouse. When Claire returns and finds Marlene's body, she suffers an asthma attack. The woman calls 911 and tries to stop the attack, but all the inhalers are empty. This only increases her panic. Remembering that a spare inhaler is in her handbag, which she dropped near the greenhouse, Claire tries to reach it but collapses unconscious. Meanwhile, Peyton, walking with Joe in the stroller, sees a police car and an ambulance. The paramedics quickly provide Claire with first aid. Peyton pretends to be deeply concerned for Claire's life. The police find Marlene's body in the greenhouse. Michael does not leave his wife's hospital room all day, but at night he must return home, after all the children are there. Only Solomon knows who is truly behind all this. Michael cannot sleep, unable to believe that Marlene is gone. Taking advantage of his vulnerable emotional state, Peyton tries to seduce him, but he rejects her, explaining that for him there is only one woman. The next day Michael brings his wife home from the hospital. Emma notices that Solomon is following their car on his bicycle, but says nothing to her parents. Peyton is pushing her way deeper into their family, and Claire likes it less and less. Sensing something is wrong, she intends to find out why Marlene came to their house that day, and goes to her office. Marlene's secretary provides Claire with documents for Dr. Victor Mott's house, which has been put up for sale. Claire goes there under the guise of a potential buyer. The realtor, replacing Marlene, shows her the house, explaining that the price is below market value because of the incident that happened here. This is how Claire discovers that their nanny is Mrs. Mott. Meanwhile, Michael and Peyton are preparing dinner. Claire arrives and slaps the nanny, telling Michael that she is Victor Mott's widow. The couple demands that she leave at once. Mrs. Mott tries to lie, saying that there was an affair between her and Michael, but of course Claire does not believe her. The couple does not even allow Mrs. Mott to take her things, insisting that they will send everything themselves. Reluctantly, Mrs. Mott returns the keys and leaves. Michael and Claire decide that tonight it would be better for them and the children to spend the night in a hotel. Michael calls the police, who knows what else Peyton might be capable of. Perhaps it was she who set the trap in the greenhouse. However, they do not have time to leave. Peyton, who has somehow managed to sneak into the house, knocks Michael out with a shovel. Telling Emma to lock herself in a room and not come out, Claire goes to check what is happening and heads down to the basement. At that moment, the wounded Michael regains consciousness, saying that Peyton is somewhere in the house. Because of the fractures in both his legs, he cannot move. Disobeying her mother's command, Emma comes out of the room. Claire calls 911, screaming that they need help urgently. At that moment, Peyton attacks Claire from behind, knocking her out with the same shovel. Peyton is planning to take Emma and Joe with her and live with them as a family. But Emma outsmarts the woman, and having hidden Joe beforehand, tells Peyton that she is not their mother, then locks herself in another part of the house with him. Peyton smashes through the door and searches for the children everywhere, following the sound of Joe's crying. But the woman stumbles upon another of Emma's tricks, the baby monitor. In the end, she finds the children in the attic, but help comes to them in the form of Solomon. Claire also appears, having regained consciousness, and a fight breaks out between the two women. Pretending to have an asthma attack, Claire throws Peyton off guard and pushes her from the roof. Claire is deeply moved that Solomon came to their aid. Together they all go downstairs to help Michael. At that moment the police and the ambulance arrive.